All right. Hey, guys. You may note that we are here with a guest. I've shared some videos of his in the past. Doesn't have a webcam, a little bit of a broke bitch. Yeah, we're approximately 5 seconds late, Max. That's
Listen, I,
uh,
I do think I have a webcam somewhere, but I think the cord is so short. I think it's like a foot long cord, which let's not get into it.
my
Uh,
cord I have to plug into a keyboard pass through because there's no feasible way that it would reach my desktop. I don't know what
right.
they're doing with these. It's yeah, I need a new one. But yeah, we're just gonna be chatting about this. So you don't really need to see him. Focus will be on some of the pictures. I'll scan through them. As I told Nathan, this is not really a guided discussion. It's just kind of us shooting the shit. Yeah, I know, right? We're not at the store, 45 minutes before it opens. The boomers, they're fucking so punctual. They get to the shop before the employees do. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nathan, tell us a little bit about yourself, and what it is you do on in this field, anyways.
Oh man, I'll talk about it later. Uh, well, I started. Well, I mean, Tyler and I started a HEMA club in high school, and that's where my interest in pretty much everything medieval, I think, kind of started. Um, as time has progressed, it's been less of a focus on the martial aspect for me, even though it's like still big, but um, or less of the sport side of
Mm,
it.
yeah.
And I've always had an interest on how things are made, and that's led me to really start like a blacksmithing sort of business, a shop at least, and trying to recreate cool old things.
Yeah, so I have in this event I used technically a couple things that Nathan made, but one major thing, and I've been really impressed. I have some of the first things you made, and for
Yeah, you
free,
do.
and the
Uh
sentimental
huh.
value, they're awesome. And then I've seen the shit you made, like, this year, and wow, there's a gulf of quality between in just a very short time.
Yeah.
So I've been very impressed by that. Uh, as far as myself, if you are here and don't know my background on this stuff, Nathan gave you part of it. I'm much more into the martial side of things. Still not really into the sport HEMA side. There are some who would tell you that's not real. It's all the same as they get into their black polyester uniforms and I could go on and on for days about how pretty much every HEMA tournament that doesn't allow wrestling is faking gay, but that is what it is. So this event was the first of not its kind in general, but the first of its kind in Oklahoma, as far as I'm aware, and certainly the first of its kind that we've done. You'll note that pretty much everyone has an open-faced helmet. I'll cycle through some of the images. Everyone is wearing varying forms of kit, very light a lot of the time. Very few are wearing any leg armor. Charles there in front in the green brigandine has probably the most expensive kit there uh, of anyone, and it's still incredibly light. He has no lower vambrace, no leg protection to speak of, and we see that in the depictions a lot, but we rarely see it actually acted out, actually reenacted. Due in no small part due to what happened at Feldlager last week with guys using actual sharp spikes and just trying to kill people, which is super awesome.
If you're gonna do it, that'd be the spot, right?
I guess so.
I,
You know,
I will mention that this wasn't the first time we've had this event, but this is the first time we've had this extended to people outside of our
yeah,
lance. Like I don't. I hesitate to use certain words because I feel like they all carry so much different meaning. Our reenactment group,
yeah,
the one that the people that organized it, the people that started it. We've had two similar events that have carried the same name previously, but they looked vastly different
Yeah.
to what this one was.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, continue, Tyler. I was just
Oh no, that I was waiting for you to elaborate. How are they different, Nathan? What are the big differences
oh
for
well. So the
this
first
year's
one,
event?
it was a military march, but we were all on the same team, so to speak. Like there, it was a we will have the Lance infrastructure go out to a location, set up camp, maybe do some drills, tear down camp, and go home. Um, the second one, which was we did last year, it was closer to this, but half the people, so a little bit more. There's less organization to it, and not that it was bad. It was just as the events get larger, you need more people dedicated to
Each individual thing, yeah.
to like dedicated to management sort of positions.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if there was double the amount of people here or like at this event, um, then we would need at least like one or two game masters,
Yeah.
right? That would not be participating in any significant way.
Yeah.
So any much larger than this, and we'll need
Yeah.
need more people.
Yeah, we'll absolutely need refs or game masters, and that's kind of how I wanted to tie it into the role playing game thing, because there are a lot of elements that cross over here. It's not a role playing game, mainly because the mechanics are very very fast and loose. They're not
Yeah, we
not
had exactly very loose.
yeah, yeah, and we'll talk about that in particular in a bit, but the ideas are there, and just like if you have a huge table at a um at a game of D&D or what have you, it's going to get messier and messier, and you will get individuals to make things run that have to be further and further removed from the experience, that have to be more and more of a neutral arbitrator. And in this sort of case, that's more of a feature than a bug. With tabletop role playing games, I don't really think you gain anything by getting more people. Whereas here, obviously, the thing you would gain is more people. It's just cooler. And one of the things that we really noticed, that I'm sure was noticeable with 10 or so people, it's really hard to take prisoners with only 10 people around. Even taking one is like the full-time job of 5 or more people, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's even if we were more serious with the prisoner aspect of it, and
Sure,
like
yeah.
you would definitely need need like 10 to 1 to like
Yeah.
realistically keep somebody in binds out in the woods,
Yeah.
right? Like, uh,
The other thing I noticed that was really compelling is that by about Sunday, so we'd been out there for 2 full day, 24 full hours maybe. Sorry, 36 full hours. We were pretty much totally out of food. Could we have rationed things more strictly and made it a full 2-3 days? Yeah, but by 3 days we would have had to be foraging for food. And at this time of year, that's not a huge problem, but the majority of the native foliage was either poisonous or rotting by this point. So it would have been pretty gnarly.
I will say that are you just saying like at base camp or in general? Because at our camp we had a lot of food left over.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true.
And also the foods that we brought out were like yummy treats,
Yeah, it
not
was not
marching
super
foods.
long shelf stay. Like I said, if we had rationed it better, we could have definitely lasted longer. But
Yeah, like
uh,
if it was like if everybody carried a
what's it
pound
countdown?
of oats, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it would have been
yeah.
let's see, reactionary principle gaming. Is that
Yeah, that's Max.
Oh, okay. Sorry, excuse me. I'm trying to learn how to do
Um,
this. We had a lot of different foods.
we did. So the primary meals that we had, we did pamperdue and scrambled eggs and ham. That was breakfast on Saturday, which all of which you can find in recipes dating back to like the 1300s, with some variants. French toast, you find a lot of different variations of. Ham, likewise. Scrambled eggs, basically identical, except you see that they grate nutmeg on top of it occasionally, which sounds odd, but it
I've
actually
I've
kind of works. Yeah,
I've tried it before. It's not too
yeah.
bad.
It's
It
just different. It's
it has that sort of kick that a pepper has. Like it's a very
yeah, yeah,
similar mouth feel, but
yeah.
no.
Um, as far as the rest of it, I mean, most of us were carrying, like cured meats, nuts, fresh fruit. We had oranges, which of course would not quite have been there yet,
It would
but
be definitely not for a military
no,
role
no,
at
no,
all.
it'd be like
Like never.
20, 30 years off from
At least like
at
even then.
minimum. Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
would have been plausible in 20 to 30 years. So no on oranges. Apples, absolutely. They write a ton about apples. There are a
Apples,
lot of lost
pears.
varietals of apples as well. Yeah, pears too.
Um,
Uh I believe Gold Lance made blancmange,
yeah,
which is
like a
like
chicken
a,
rice
yeah, it's kind of like a
recipe.
chicken risotto.
Yeah, we had
The
turnip stew,
Yep.
which was interesting.
And then Sunday for lunch slash breakfast. Kind of didn't really eat much breakfast. Everyone was fucking cooked Sunday morning.
Yeah, I
uh,
over the
I had
whole
a beer
weekend.
for breakfast Sunday.
Over the whole weekend, I was only out there for Saturday, Sunday, but I think I probably ate less than 1,000 calories while I was out there.
I felt like I did not eat very much either.
But I did that on purpose because it's like I didn't want to be. I'll be honest, I didn't want to be shitting in the woods, right? Like
Same,
that.
yeah. That was the other thing. Sunday was probably the most ahistorical, but even
Oh
still,
yeah,
it was sausage, mashed potatoes, which you see mashed turnips show up and stuff, so I'm gonna cry about it.
yeah.
And mushroom gravy, which that part very that shows up in so many historical recipes. Sometimes they call it mushroom ketchup, but ketchup is really just an old term for like any sauce you put on something. So yeah, we tried to go for historical food in as far as it was reasonable. I wanted to bring poached quince, but I could not find any.
Yeah. I on the subject of food, and people bringing their own stuff like that.
Let me see
I
if I can find. Go
I
ahead, keep
do
talking.
I do wish we
No,
might have
there's
been a bit
shut up.
more um, strict about people bringing extra supplies, because like one of our members had brought some food stuffs. We didn't use like most of any of our like pre-packed planned things. So we carried an extra like maybe 10 or 20 pounds of food that we did not use
For pretty much no reason. Yeah,
for no
yeah.
well yeah, for no reason at all.
I don't know that like, Saturday night I was happy to have it, but
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Yeah, having we had all that summer sausage packed, and
yeah,
we had
and
like a
I had a bite of it.
yeah. Well, it's because we brought again for some reason. I don't want to get too far into it, but we had a guy who was adamant about bringing some canned stuff, which is like even heavier. So
Canned stuff is very heavy.
yeah,
You brought it out, and I was like, "You're okay. We're less than like 30 years off is one thing. Hundreds of years is another
yeah,
thing. My grievances. I'll get those out of the way. In the meantime, um, yeah, Dory has some grievances too. Uh, my grievances were mainly that there were a few guys there that fuck, dude. Saturday night. Oh, do you need help with that? Let me fucking shine my 3 million lumen fucking modern phone camera directly in your eyes and just totally night blinding me. Like, I have
Yeah.
really clear blue eyes. If my eyes are allowed to adjust to night conditions, I can see fine by fire or candlelight. And this is just blowing my eyes are trying to adjust to the super bright spot. Now I can't see anything over there in the darkness, and yeah, that was that was a mess. For one
Yeah.
thing.
Well, I think that there was just some newer people to the
Mhm.
situation, and they didn't necessarily understand that that sort of thing is an emergency use,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
Like, as in, like, a not a, oh man, I need to go find sticks, or I need to
yeah,
see my way around the camp. You should be
yeah,
using a lantern or something.
yeah. Because we also had taking a stick and making a stave torch out of the giant bonfire that we have going. You
Yeah, right.
know, but there was that, and then there was the guys, came over to our tent at 11 p.m. midnight, going like, "Hey, can we go collect firewood?" And I look out and I'm like, "It's pitch fucking black. We're not cooking anything else. It's gonna get to 50 at the lowest.
Yeah,
Why?" Like, literally,
yeah.
why? Like,
It got a little. It felt a little bit colder than I thought it was going to be.
yeah, it gets chilly that morning.
I had like a blanket on, and
Yeah,
we were in the tent. Like, in the
yeah,
tent, it warms things up.
yeah.
Especially when you have four dudes
Four
sleeping in
people
it.
in there, yeah.
Yeah,
It was cozy with 4 people though. It was
yeah,
not, it did not feel, cramped at all.
not too bad. No.
No, it was good size, especially with no snorers.
Yeah, I mean, you were kind of sawing some logs for a little bit.
Really? Oh,
I was ready to kill you. I was
really?
ready.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I must have been knocked the fuck out because the funniest thing that happened all event is I slept through a gunshot, apparently. I
yeah.
I was
I wish.
fucking I felt like a bitch when at the end of Saturday, every time somebody asked me to do something, and I was like, "Bro, I can stand here. I'll make a good show of it, but I am ready to fucking collapse, dude." It
Yeah.
was
I mean, I had to pace myself pretty well to. Well, I mean, I thought I'd be moving, but hey,
yeah.
if I knew that, I don't want to get into that. That's not relevant.
Damn.
um,
Damn. Tell us how you really feel, Nathan.
I just complaining. I don't need to be complaining too much.
Well, we use the sandwiching technique, Nathan. Whenever you want to make a complaint, say two nice things.
Huh. All right. Anyways, we'll move on from that then. um, yeah, that gunshot, it woke me up for sure. Like, I very scary. And we should mention that it's blanks. They're not
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're not shooting lead bullets into people, of course. But
Uh, yeah, obviously. No, fucking hell, dude. It is funny that you do have to mention that though. I doing a little demo at the library in a couple weeks, and I'm excited to have to answer. Is that a real sword? 7 times from
yeah,
people ages 5 to 55.
I do think it'd be nice to maybe make a bingo card for next year for
Oh,
it, because
dude,
I was hearing a
yeah.
lot of the same things as I've heard in previous in previous events.
Yeah, like what were some?
Uh, does anybody want to go get firewood? That's a classic.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't drank any water. That's another good one. You love to hear
Oh my
that.
god,
Uh,
dude. Yeah. So, that's another thing that we had to make some historical concessions for because of course we unlike a medieval European army did not have a clean river along our marching path to simply gather water from as needed. Uh Now, medieval armies wouldn't always have had that option, but they would have tried to. Nor did we want to risk the dysentery from the alternative. So,
yeah, we did have to have some water stashed out near the campsites and along the trails, and bring some on us as well. Um, Again, also the heat. Even though this is approaching fall in
yeah,
Oklahoma, it's it was still 70, 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
I got into
Right.
high 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the high was almost 90 on Saturday because Oklahoma flipped a coin and went, no, you get a little bit more of this right before it gets
Right.
into fall.
So I mean that's a little unfortunate, but
Yeah.
um, is what it is.
Mhm.
Oh.
But yeah, drinking water was super super important. We had one guy unfortunately have to tap out to a heat stroke or extreme heat exhaustion, one of the two.
Yeah.
Into heat stroke.
It was but I think he had a fair bit of armor on,
He
right?
had a
Yeah.
lot on. He was wearing a decent amount of wool. He was also carrying a lot.
Yeah.
And he had mail plate, in bronze kettle helm, which is awesome. But I imagine that was not, it wasn't making him cooler.
Well, it's a steel helmet. It's just bronzed or brassed.
Right, but you're the metallurgist here. I'm sure that changes the heating properties to some extent.
Maybe.
Like faster to heat up. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can see poor Glenn out here. Yeah, there he is, right here.
Yeah, I don't know.
That huge Taurus also, and he was carrying the banner as well, of course. So, poor guy was just fucking yeah. I put my mail on about the first 5 minutes of the event and went, that's gonna fucking suck. I took that off.
Mail is yeah.
It's
definitely
hot. It's something that people don't talk or think about. I think in fantasy games, it's something that could really be considered because often characters in typical medieval early Renaissance kit are going to regions that do not have European weather. That's a big consideration. There's a reason the conquistadors were really quickly not wearing full plate harness.
Yeah, I mean it makes it difficult to makes it more difficult to breathe. It doesn't. I mean, not by a ton, but like if you have any weight on your chest, it's going to make it more difficult. Yeah. I mean, if anything, it not so much that the armor slows you down, but it definitely fatigues you, which is different, right? Like,
exactly.
If you're trying to have a crossover for some fantasy game or like, as I say, fantasy role playing game or tabletop game, that's something to consider, right? Like you're not you might not be slowed down in your running, like your full like your sprint speed might not change.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to make a simulator, like you're not going to be able to sprint for as long as you would otherwise.
You're not going to be able to go for very long. Like what was only 3/4 of a mile and over some rough terrain, and we were pulling a decent amount of weight per. Even still, we're fucking exhausted by the end of that 3/4 miles. Whereas walking 3/4 of a mile, not in kit on nice flat roads is nothing. Yeah.
I will say that march would have been easier had people not brought a bunch of extra BS.
Yeah.
And people brought a bunch of extra stuff that was not used.
Hey, I actually managed to carry all of my own weight. I'll pat myself on the back for that one.
Yes, Tyler, you are not one of the people that I had an issue with.
I felt so much because I even carrying what I was, I felt so much better when I got out there because I was thinking, man, this is a little bit. And I get out there and I see Cade's fucking cornucopia on his back.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I probably even brought too much. Frankly, I brought some armor pieces I didn't wear, but for one engagement. So
yeah.
Oh well.
It made me realize why and this is 100 years later, but by the time of the Longsnecht, why they're saying like, you'd have like 30 combatants and maybe 70 non-combatants in the baggage train just to carry your shit around. And it's like, that's if you wanted to actually have, plate harness, munitions, plenty of food, people to do cooking and cleaning and tailoring if need be. I could easily see that.
I know that the Romans got brought up and how they were carrying so much. I don't know if I can't remember who brought it up, but I don't think they realized how much by Romans we're talking about like peak of the Roman Empire.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how many slaves, camp hands, and like apprentices, so to speak, that each legionnaire had is like 5 people to 1 legionnaire. He wasn't carrying 70 pounds. And the same thing for
No,
like medieval
they were
soldiers.
all yeah, they were all carrying 40 to 50 pounds. And if you look, it moves up and down a little bit, but usually anytime an army gets like settled and well established for thousands of years, they've come to the conclusion, on average, somebody on a march can carry about 40 to 50 pounds comfortably.
Yeah. But I mean, but yeah, the camp followers, that's definitely
Yeah.
an aspect. But it's kind of hard to replicate that for this sort of game because you'll have a handful of people who really like the camp follower gameplay, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
It's harder to scale that, like
Yeah. There's way
So
more people interested in the combat. It ends up being more ratioed in the opposite direction,
yeah,
if
and
not more. Um,
yeah,
which is understandable. And luckily we're only out there for a couple days, not months, potentially years on without settling down. So it's not as big a deal, right? But it is, the logistics of it were really interesting to me. That was the most compelling part to me, because it's something I mentioned to my students a lot. Of, you have to remember 90% of the time they're not using these weapons, they're carrying them around, which is in the context of weapon design. Because I had one student is a high schooler, and he was basically asking, why didn't they design these swords like the Fiore harness swords? Because he was like, well, if you strike with the pommel, it seems like it would make sense for it to have a spike on it. And I was like, wow, that's really compelling, as my wife drops everything over here. That's, people would do that. And he goes, this buckler, I feel like I want to punch with it. What if it had a spike on it? So I'm like, well, you would fit right in high medieval Italy like this. But remember, in a dueling context where you have it for the duel and then you fucking chuck it and don't care about it anymore, great, fantastic.
I think there's also there's something like that, and like in a modern day equivalent would be your AR-15 with every attachment on it.
Yep.
Like like what more do you need beyond like a handguard on it? So that way you're not gripping bare barrel and then iron sights or something like functionally it doesn't change too much. And I
Yeah.
feel like it gets gimmicky.
It's
At some
been
point.
it's been a problem, because every time they make, and this is not just with it's with the AK as well. There's a reason guys in Ukraine on both sides are picking up older AK variants over the new like AK-104 and other things. One is there's some reliability issues. The other is just every time they lighten the gun by a pound, they put a pound of extra shit on it. And so
Yeah.
it's, the smaller sword might not look that impressive until you have to carry the big fuck off sword for 4 or 5 miles a day, and you haven't seen action in 4 days, and you're going, God damn, I really wish I brought a smaller sword with me.
Right. Oh. I mean, but obviously it wasn't all just for functionality's sake. I mean, even looking at this
Right.
picture we have right now, like you got people with plumes and other any of the pictures, you're gonna see something, some
something
flavor,
superfluous,
right?
something
Yeah,
that is there for, and there's some vestigial nature there with the plumes, because in the Roman Legion, we often think of the Renaissance as being the Greek-Roman revival, but if you look at medieval writings, they're still thinking about that stuff. It's just not as well articulated. They have a lot, and in the Roman periods, you had the Centaurion and the etc. that were, their plumes marked a rank, and then it eventually in the Middle Ages just became like, oh, that looks cool.
I mean, it's still useful to be able to see where the heads are at, right? And
Right.
but definitely not standardized by any
No,
means that I'm aware of, anyways. But
no.
well, do we want
And,
to talk? Sorry, go on.
yeah. I was just gonna say, and there's a lot of, especially by the time the 1400s, where armies are being made up of almost exclusively professional soldiers. A lot of these guys are doing it because it's a way to make a lot of money and show off how much of a badass you are. So these guys are doing it a lot to show off.
I was going to ask if we want to talk about the combat, like how that sort of flowed and went.
Let me I believe we only have one shot of skirmishing, but
Yeah.
we do have it. Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, the
initial skirmish, which is really funny.
Yeah,
You can see my fucking helmet just poking out right here.
A little theatrics.
Yeah,
I meant specifically like once we were out in the field, it was definitely interesting having to try to like keep forces in reserve. Plan out like how exhausted people were, how much armor we want to put on, that sort of thing.
So initially, the sort of game plan was settle down, start getting stuff set up, and rest for a bit because we had a head start. John looked at both of our forces mustered out and decided we had the better looking. We were looking more put together somehow, and sent us out 30 minutes early. So we had a little bit of rest time, not too much, but Austin and I dragged a log off and block the Gold Lance after. I can't remember who, but one of them said, yeah, that log was really fucking annoying to get out of the way because we kind of wedged it between two trees and it was maybe a foot off of the ground.
Yeah.
So there's no way to, you weren't lifting a cart over it realistically.
Yeah, I mean, it needed to be done because we had multiple equipment failures.
Dude, that cart broke so fucking quick.
Yeah, that was Brian's first attempt at like that sort of thing.
The top bit was really good. It was just the axle. It was the axle and the yokes could have had some chamfering. I got soft hands, but by the time, and it's not exactly made to be lifted, but lifting it on the way back, my fucking, I do have calluses for what it's worth, and even still, it was not comfortable.
I told him all that, but because he's asking for some questions about the design and like things to keep in mind, that sort of thing. He listened to some of them, didn't listen to some others, but it's okay.
It got from point A to point B just with some difficulty.
I'm proud of him for it. He put in some good effort on it. Is there any? Do we have any pictures of it?
Let's see. Let's see if there's any pictures. So there's Chuck. There's Gold Lance's cart, or rather wagon. You can't really see the.
There's some by Raven of the Shield sitting in it.
Yeah. That's true.
It'll give you a good view of those.
Risque photo back there. Yeah, there's Dory. Everyone with food's friend. This is a good photo. You can really see the mix of kit that we've got here. Yeah. Ranging from me somewhere in the middle with a shield and breastplate all the way down to just Gambison, and lots of us by late Saturday were just in Gambison. Lots of us just in tunics. It was so fucking hot.
Well, I mean, and you see that in some depictions where they just have like a surcoat on essentially in their helmet.
Yep.
So
yeah, there's their wagon, which held up pretty well. Both of the wagons did fine. It was more the carts that, and even their
if you
cart.
Go back, you can kind of see it behind James there.
Can you?
Another one.
Oh, yeah.
No, that one's Ryan's. Sorry, that one's fine. Yeah.
Musashi was, dude. Poor Musashi. He was pushing this thing by himself on the way back, and we were like, dude, Gold Lance just fucking abandoned.
Dude, nice. Gotta love it.
And so their hand cart had the issue of shit just kept falling off the sides.
Yeah, with that design, you really have to strap stuff down.
Yeah, so they were having that issue, and we were catching up back and forth to each other. Yeah, see, here's breakfast.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of the thing for the cart pullers, though. They have to be punished, and they have to be tortured.
God, the fucking Skinwalker Alex, man, that's a character. That's
you can't deny his He had a way about him for sure.
Yeah, some kind of way. Yeah, as here is Glenn. You can see in some of his lighter kit underneath, but even still, he's rocking the knee-high boots, and
Yeah,
it's a lot. And he's got a smaller frame. He doesn't have a lot of water to lose. Here's the mighty brigands of Black Lance mustering out for battle. Not a bad-looking crowd.
all of the times, like, all right, can we do it stealthy? Nathan, can you sneak up?
Me and fucking Nathan. They're saying the fucking mustard yellow guy and the red, blue, the blue and green might not have been the worst, but this is a brand new helmet, brand new breastplate. They are fucking shiny.
It's just like, yeah, dude, I'll sneak around, dude.
Sure, sounds great. And then we look behind us, and there's two more people going, I'll come with. And we're like, yeah, fully 6 people behind to defend. We start walking. We look, there's two more people following us.
Yeah.
And so we're like, nice, the 60% of our forces stealth operation party.
And we immediately got to see, like, it
was so fast.
Yeah.
We realized we had bushwhacked probably a good 500 feet to the left. It was good we took 6 people, because we got about halfway out and went, does literally anyone have a map? And 1 out of the 6 did.
Yeah.
So that was funny. This is probably the best picture of my soft kit here, because a lot of it was hidden behind the shield. I don't know of any depictions of this, and nobody else was doing it. I found this to be a fantastic way to suspend a bedroll, especially with a shield, because your hand naturally wants to rest here with the guide strap, and it prevents a lot of bouncing around as you're walking. So the shield's not banging into anything, and you can just sort of rest there and have that padding. And then my Martebo sack went over my right shoulder, so I'm very evenly distributed across both shoulders. And that's just a simple Canadian hitch into a slip knot that I'm wearing that around my shoulder with. You can find a million videos of how to tie that knot. It's very simple. And then gauntlets, my nice little fucking goofy ass helmet. I love that helmet. It's so dumb. It works very well for the attacks that it is made to deflect. Yeah.
But for the group fighting, and you were talking about like I don't think any of the engagements were symmetrical at all. Not a single
I don't.
one.
Like, you could argue that one when they were attacking our camp on the sort of dry riverbed, but even then we had a pretty big terrain advantage there.
Yeah. But we had a terrain advantage, but we were partially armored. Not everybody got all of their
Yeah. There was a constant back and forth because pretty much none of us, let me rephrase that, because none of us had squires or pages to help us don our armor. It was a constant battle of, we made camp a quarter mile away from each other, really close. So anytime we're coming back from an engagement, it's, are we worried about them getting a second wind and just immediately coming after us? Or am I allowed to take my armor off and rest, but risk that they could come right back in full force and then we'd be kind of screwed?
So, I mean, there's benefits and negatives to both. So the way that we were doing it in the bandit camp, so to speak, where we would basically disarmor completely after an engagement, is the way to do it if you're far away. They apparently, but most of them stayed at least in some piece of armor the whole event,
which is probably why their side got the heat stroke victim and our side didn't.
Well, I mean, so yes,
partially at least.
I do think that the people who stuck around in the heavy armor were not as field experienced, so to speak, with that sort of thing. But
Oh man, here you can really tell how much kit Glenn's got on with that
Yeah,
full big bever and
that bever does not make it easy to breathe either.
whoo, no, it does not. So yeah, that great example of what a lot of the guys going out to the Crusades, as they're referred to. Yes, I know there are a fucking million of them over hundreds of years. Don't bother about it. The guys that were in European armor that were going into the Middle East were going, God damn, it's hot out here. Austin did not look anything like this by the end of Saturday. He was
No,
shirt off. This was all
armor
gone.
gone,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
literally nothing. I have a gun, whatever. I don't need any of this shit.
I thought the guns were interesting. I don't know how useful they were for.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
there were interesting issues on both sides of it, as there was a lot of suppression because, well, you're pretending the gun is actually shooting at you, and
yeah,
it's, I don't want to get shot by a gun, so I'm gonna stay behind a tree or a rock or something.
or wait
And,
for him to be in a reload, right?
right.
Yeah.
And then there was the opposite issue of the gunners felt like without actual shots, it's really hard to tell. I don't know. Should I have gotten that guy? Should that guy call it? Or is particularly with this era of guns, is it fair for him to go, no, dude, that shot went wide. You had a squib load. You had one of the million
You know,
misfires. Or
I I feel like it would have been more definitely cool that we have the handguns.
Mhm.
I think it would have been more appropriate for a crossbow or bow, with like some LARP arrows on them.
Yeah, and that appears to be the talk for next year, which is cool.
Yeah, because like these sort of weapon, obviously super effective. There's a reason that modern warfare went the way that they did.
Right.
That's like more of like a siege thing, or like there's a big old line of guys there. It doesn't matter if it goes wide or goes high, it's gonna hit somebody.
Right.
Not as useful for shooting the single guy
Point
dancing around a
targeting.
tree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Um,
And
no.
also the point at this period, which I didn't hear anyone bring up, but is interesting. The term bulletproofing comes about around this period because these low-powered handguns. It was very possible to make plate that would withstand, a soft lead ball going 400 feet per second.
I mean, they used to use that as like a proof of
Yeah.
quality
That's
on breastplates.
where the term comes from. Yeah, if you got a little dent instead of a big dent or a hole in it, then yeah, you're pretty much golden.
Which I got to handle.
That's cool.
Some armor that was like that. I'll see if I can't pull up a picture of it.
There's another of my full light kit here. My shoes are not exactly historical. They are flat bottomed. They have no texture on them, and they're all leather. They just have a heel. My guy, my character, so to speak, he just bought some shoes from some Arabian dude. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. But heels do not get popular in Europe until late Renaissance.
Tyler, I'm going to send you a link for you to pull up.
All right, it's goatsy. Okay, interesting.
If I remember correctly, I think this is the one I got to handle at that armoring event. This thing, pretty heavy. Let's see if he has the weight listed on it.
And let's see. Present. Stop sharing that and then start sharing it again. There we are. So,
I think the important thing to read: the thickness on the line from the center point to the center point of the left arm roll. It started at, I think the thickest part of this breastplate is 0.21 inches, so about a fifth of an inch thick.
That's
towards the center.
Fifth of an inch is fucking, for reference.
If I'm reading that correctly, like, yeah, perfect, Tyler.
That thick. It's like a pencil's thickness. Like, yeah, that's fucking thick.
These later breastplates that were designed to be able to take shot to them.
Yeah.
very heavy, which it's not too bad whenever it's like suspended on you, and if you're on horseback, like who
And
cares?
by the 1500s, a lot of these guys were in kit similar to mine and just wearing a breastplate, gauntlets, and a
Yeah,
helmet. Sometimes even less than that. Sometimes not even gauntlets, but
yeah. So it definitely was doable to make
Mm.
bullet resistant armor, at
Yeah.
least for they cared less for the extremities, which is kind of you see the same thing for modern armor, right?
Yeah, it's
Mm.
interesting because we've come full circle because in the early 2000s, and I did some work on this, we're writing for the DoD. In the early 2000s, they found that again, guys going into the Middle East found all this kit that you're wearing is really fucking hot for one. And the applique armor of you have the Kevlar shoulder pads, and then the diaper that goes under protects your groin, and then the folds that go over and protect your thighs. Fantastic in theory. It protects a lot of vital spots, it protects a lot of joints. And in practice, they found guys were way more likely to get heat stroke, way more likely to just take it off and not wear it at all because it's too hot and too bulky. And a lot of the times, it just didn't protect against the most likely things to happen. So they erred on the side of let's get you in the thing that you'll actually wear, that when you're not in combat isn't going to impair you, and we'll get you 9/10 of the way there is close enough.
Right, and I think we experienced all the same stuff with the
Yeah,
armor we chose to keep on
yeah,
at the event,
yeah.
but
It was very interesting, sort of piecemealing things as well. Figuring out in the middle of the event, oh, I'm going to lose this. We'll go for that. And pretty much just accepting. Uh, Sorry, I don't know what is going on here. There we go. Pretty much just accepting that if somebody shows a point to you and you're not wearing you're like I am there, then it's like okay, yeah, we're good, man. That's it. Which is effectively how we showed up to that in that scouting party, which is they saw us. Okay, we lose that fight. Let's go. Let's leave.
this is one thing that I kind of already knew, but it was reconfirmed at this is that spatial awareness in these fights was super. That was more important than armor.
Yeah.
Being able to see whenever somebody's running to flank behind.
It's over there, but that little shitty helmet, as much as it doesn't make me feel that protected, I could always have it on. It like I almost forgot I was wearing it at times because it's just there and it doesn't impair your hearing, it doesn't impair your sight at all. I think all but one of the people that I managed to capture or injure were esquires, or at least people in a lot of armor, in full sallets, in things that impaired their vision, uh, guys that got a little too big in their armor and extended a little too far.
Yeah, there's a number of side charges I got on people because well, I mean they
Yeah.
just couldn't see or weren't paying attention.
There were a number
So
of people who in single combat would whoop my ass, but I saw that they were distracted and all it took was boop, and that's it.
or even like putting a spear point in a heavier armored guy's face
Yeah,
for somebody
yeah,
to like then flank him or what. Like
yeah, yeah.
you didn't
But
necessarily have to parry or or like
no,
worry about spacing so much. It's
it reinforces something I've always said, which I've had some experience with, but this was like maybe the most clear that it's been made, which is once you start getting into a group of bigger than 5 people, the individual combatant skill does not super matter as much as positioning
yeah.
matters. As oh hey, that guy's in a lot of armor. However, he's fucking 50 feet away from his nearest friend. Let's just gank his ass. Let's
Yeah, two guys with a spear, if they just get on either sides of
yeah,
and like don't overcommit,
yeah.
it you'll win. Like it's
The,
not
the other thing that this event made really interesting, especially with the open face helmets, is when you are actually worried for your own safety, such as I know this guy is my friend, but I am in an open-faced helmet, and he has a poleaxe.
I mean, yeah.
You want to give them a decent amount of distance. It can be. You do have to wait until you're very sure. Yeah, this guy's cornered. I can get him.
I mean, I to speak to that, I got hit in the head with the haft of a poleaxe when my helmet had fallen off. So
I didn't
you know,
notice that. When did
yeah,
that happen?
that was the tail end of. Oh man, I'm trying to remember which engagement that was. I was gonna say whenever we captured Kalen, but that happened 3 times. So,
Not the first time though.
not the first time. No, no. Man, yeah, I can't remember which engagement. It was either the one where our camp got invaded, or whenever they approached us from the trail.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think it was from whenever they were approaching our camp when they were on the trail. So it might have been Sunday morning.
That would explain why I didn't
when we were all talking
happening.
about we need to get armored and ready to go.
Yeah.
We need to hurry up and get out of here. And then like Tyler and I were standing ready to go for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it was from that one. I'd gotten bound up. My helmet fell off because I refused to wear a chin strap.
Yeah,
then,
they can be a little annoying.
Yeah.
And
also,
we don't see them in all depictions either.
Yeah, I think they're ahistorical. Personally, depending, it depends. It depends, right?
Yeah. But I would say by and large you don't see them in the depictions. And if your liner is appropriate, you don't need it. It's
right. Which mine is. It's just whenever you get put sideways, it tends to fall off.
Yep, Fiore shows that. He shows trying to push people's helmets off on purpose. So it's something they were thinking about.
Yeah, well, especially on the bassinets or the likes that are in Fiore's drawings.
Yeah, when you got the big long nose.
Yeah, those didn't like. I'd be willing to bet money that there was never a chin strap on any.
No, I don't see why there would have been on those.
Well, with that, whenever you have an aventail, like it weighs it down, like it holds it onto your head.
That
really
too,
well.
Yeah.
But
what else was I was there was a thought in my head and it just fucking exited my mind.
You talk about the weapons and the sort of like tier.
Yeah.
I say tier, but like the important
occupations.
The people assigned to them.
Yeah. So you were a quartermaster. What were quartermasters allowed to carry? Because I don't know what your equipment set was. I just know kind of what your job was.
I think it was so. I mean, obviously, I don't think there's any ever standardization historically that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm.
A quartermaster isn't really it doesn't matter. Well, for the game, it said that I would have a spear with the banner, a sword, and a dagger. I kind of had a mix between a sword and a dagger with that short messer and then a spear.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to reserve poleaxes for the knights.
Yeah.
But I found that obviously weapons were important to have, and having backups also important because they get stolen pretty easily. Right?
Yeah, it's really impressive. I mean, fucking, I thought it was a little bit of a meme. The accounts of guys sawing the heads off of the hafts because they couldn't fucking fit all of the pole arms that they were stealing. I was like, okay, come on now. I can see that being feasible, dude. I don't know. These guys are just leaving 50 pole arms around. And if you look at like the armored dueling stuff, you'll see in the background there's just fucking weapons laying everywhere. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I wish
we were finding sallets and fucking, Cade, I don't know if you saw this engagement, but he went to shoot me. I think he misfired, and I went to charge him while he was reloading. He pops around a tree and comes out with a fucking poleaxe. And I'm like, he tells me after the event, he was like, I did not plant that there. I have no idea where that poleaxe came from. It's just fucking mystery forest poleaxe.
Yeah, I wasn't perfect about it myself because I was the spear with the banner and it still got stolen.
We also stole theirs too, to be fair.
Yeah,
So.
well, but the weapons and everything, the armor, all of this stuff was just across the camp. There's like, if
Yeah.
somebody wanted to run in and nab something, I mean, hey, it's my fault. I was in charge of camp management. Did not do a good job. So
Hey, no, we had hot food, we had tents that worked, and we had
you had
we had
stogies for everybody who wanted one.
and we had a fire set up, so nobody went hungry, nobody had to sleep on the dirt, so
Oh.
it was a success as far as that went. And we ended up with the surplus of weapons. To be part of the problem was that we couldn't feasibly keep track. I mean, by the end of it, I've got my mace around my waist, my shield, and I've got an arming sword that I'm like trying to fucking hold all of these. And they're like, oh, it's
I do think in the future, I just something that came into my head. Clay's tent setup where it's just like the lean-to.
Yeah,
I think that's the move. I don't think
it looked pretty cozy.
Or Brian's cone tent, which is like one pole.
Yeah,
a lot less weight, a lot easier to set up.
But Alex had something very similar to that. That was just the one pole staked around.
Yeah,
and that seemed like a really sound setup from what I saw. You still cannot see our cart, dude. This is historical revisionism. These, by the way, are some of the guys that were particularly new to the group. Gale? Is that his name?
I don't know.
Okay, I believe it was his first event though.
Okay.
So he had done, and everyone was going, "Wow, a hell of a first event." People did not realize it because he has like a really solid kit for having never been to anything before.
Was he one of the cook type guys?
Yeah, he's his son, I believe. Dale's son,
yeah.
I believe. And he went to the manuscript tour at OSU with Epler and I. So I didn't realize that he was brand new to this, which is cool. And so John Epler here, always a gracious host, was teaching some of the new guys sword and buckler. So if you note, they all had really solid kit too. Varying levels of wealth and what is the word I'm trying to think of? Not dignity, but like varying levels of showing off going on here in the clothing, which is nice to see because it's what we see in the depictions, of people you have people in the Hollywood brown. Yes, they do exist, but you also have people in huge variations of color.
It was really interesting to me was how poorly negotiations went.
Every single time. It was fucking comical. It was somebody said they had video of us disarming Ryan at the end there. Mm-hmm. That one was funny.
Well, yeah, he showed up by himself.
So Ryan here, their quartermaster, shows up alone as a show of goodwill, but it's alone as a show of goodwill after like 5 or 6 negotiations have gone poorly and both sides are killing prisoners, and we're like, wow, that was stupid. Why did you do that?
Yeah.
A little late for that one, but
he should so for all the context for the event, right? We're not 2 separate armies, we're one army that split up because of a disagreement. Mm-hmm. Ryan should, at least in the context of the game, know the character of one of the knights on the other side, which is to betray, stab in the back, steal. Like
we're doing this for money. Oh, their messenger they sent over is the guy that has all the money.
Yes. So it's
Tight.
like, hey, but we didn't all make good decisions. Like it was my decision to go in the light armored 6-man uh
Oh my
scout
god, the
party, but
six man mustard yellow and blue scout party. Yeah.
with the horn that it can't be heard across at the distance.
I forgot my fife. Next time I'll bring my fife and we'll put things to the test.
There was a lot of tree and foliage, obviously, so I don't think the sound carried as well as we had hoped. But
Yeah.
because I didn't even hear gunshots at the opposing camp when they happened, apparently.
Not often, no.
No.
Hell, I didn't hear gunshots at our camp when I was Slumbo.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
That's fucking crazy that I was snoring. Because I never snore.
I think your head was in a weird position or something.
It probably was.
Yeah. But you know, what was nice about that was the guys that were sleeping outside next to the fire or whatever were snoring loud enough for me to hear them in the tent.
Oh,
so that was kind of tight.
So you're in a winning position, Nathan. That's nice.
I win no matter what. Dude. Yeah, that's me right there.
All right, so there's a tent pole, a real historical pressure treated tent pole.
Yeah, well,
you know,
my tent is more for appearances on the outside camping.
Right? Yeah, that's as I was gonna say. You never see.
No.
You gotta take some things with a grain of salt. You know, like this chuck is really nice and it's historically feasible. Is it a Middle Ages chuck? I don't know because I don't think they fucking depicted those ever. So
they're probably out there, but it's like a table, right? It's
yeah, that's nothing particularly unusual about it. Here's everyone donning their armor and soft kit. Still no sign of our cart. Oh, that's a great picture here. Dude, these non-hound skull bassinets without the visor, they look so fucking goofy. Like everyone has their own medieval helmet beef. I think mine's only with these bassinets. I've got to say, it's not even beef. I enjoy them for what they are, but fuck, dude, you look like a goddamn egg.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, the only style I don't care for is armettes.
Really, they're one of my favorite styles. Some of them look really stupid, but
well, I agree that some of them, as in all of them, look really stupid. I've also got some qualms with the design overall, but hey, I mean, people are fighting in them, right?
It's too many moving pieces, in my opinion. I think the Burgenet's a better design as far as that goes.
Well, the best helmet is the Great Bassinet. It's in the name. Great.
It is great. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They didn't call it
the pig face and the hound skull, and yeah, lots of those are really great looking. You, of course, and Cade wearing kettle helms, which are fantastic.
Yeah.
Here you can see me in I think only one more of us, I suppose is the way I would say that, was in a Lear pipe hood for good reason. That was fucking hot. I took that off pretty quick.
Yeah, it's more like a wintertime hood.
Yeah, and it was great early in the morning. It just got way too hot. Nobody is quite sure what this long ass tail that goes all the way to your calf is for.
I am
the Lyra pipe. I have a few theories. They're really nice for when it is cold, and you can basically just use it as a big ass scarf. You can use it to whip stray dogs. What are your theories, Nathan?
No, I just shit posting myself. But well, also if you want to wear it like a chaperone,
yeah,
you can. It's useful for wrapping around your head.
Yeah,
but.
And then as far as in the just lengthened position, decorative, it's why do we wear ties today? People in hundreds of years are going to look at that and go, what did they use this tie for? It's not going to keep your chest warm or
Well, yeah, you see a lot of things like that. And who knows, it might be a carryover from something older. Like the gorgets in the British military, like during the
Right.
Revolutionary War. You know what I'm talking about? Like the
Yeah, the leathernecks. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and they probably didn't serve any real purpose other than identification. They mentioned it made it easier to identify,
An
particularly
officer.
the U.S. Navy, early or U.S. Marines rather. It made it really easy to identify, who was a part of what. But other than that, yeah, it's lots of vestigial stuff. Um, Yeah, and here you can see it ended up being tucked into my belt, and I didn't even notice.
Well, you can
Raven's outer, not tabard. I don't know what you would call this. It was awesome.
a coat of some
Yeah,
sort.
yeah, some kind of coat. Yeah. But yeah, that looked great. What were you gonna say before that?
Oh, with the pipe in the belt, that's a thing. What you do, like if it's long, like you have the chance of tripping or getting caught on something.
Mm-hmm.
You do that, and then you pull up on it a little bit, and
Oh,
it kind of
yep,
like
yep,
loops over, so that way it's not in the way as much.
yep. I never noticed it being in the way. Something people always ask when I'm wearing it at demonstrations or whatever. They're like, "Doesn't that thing get in the way?" And I'm like, no more than like the long belt does. Honestly, the long belt style, I'm more worried about if I'm in a jog, you getting fucking racked by your own the end of your
Yeah,
belt.
yeah.
But not it really doesn't, not any more than a tie does. I think probably way more, what, like 200 something people get strangled by ties to death every year worldwide. There's a statistic on that. Ties are kind of dumb, so we're not any smarter than medieval people.
Do you have access to all the photos?
It sure looks like it.
Let's see. Are you able to back out and like look at the
Mhm.
spread?
Yeah.
Yeah, the picture of the cart is towards the bottom.
Oh yeah, it'll be so. Here's Bandit Camp.
Yeah, one picture of it.
Yeah, one and picture. That's a crazy wide one. So they've got their gunner taking point, which is interesting. Probably makes some sense. The Stogie tent, Stogmeister. Yeah, as you can see, we got Mace here, which unfortunately I never managed to get close enough to mace anybody with.
Yeah. But yeah,
Uh,
like that tent right there, that's
yeah,
or
a little
lean
lean
to.
to.
Yeah, I think that might be the move
Yeah,
in the future.
yeah. Here is the aforementioned cart. You can't see a lot of it. A lot of it is just like peg and slot, dovetail, not dovetail, but almost
Mortise
mortise
and
and
tenon.
tenon joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the handles, the tillers, and they are they're
I
not
told him
they're
to
not
put a
chamfered.
chamfer on everything. So
There's no chance. Even octagonal would have been good, but
yeah.
now we know, and that's easy enough to fix. Here's more of Gold, dude. Gold Lance's camp. I'm not gonna lie, it looks a little doo doo in comparison
Dude,
to ours.
you
Ours
can
has some
see
scenic rocks. Ours has theirs is a barren wasteland.
you can see how rough Glenn is looking right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
poor
poor
Glenn,
guy.
dude. We're not making fun of him, by the way.
I
Uh,
do I do like how you go back to the knife in the tree. I like some instead of using their eating knife for that.
I always thought that image was funny. Nice Todd's workshop piece, by the way.
Yeah.
We were talking shit on Armor's Marks. I don't mind his. It's very simple.
No, yeah, this is great. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this is a good one. I will say this would be cool if this was done full medieval style of there is no scale.
And a
There's
couple of
just some fucking
dragons.
there's blue lines. There's like over here is a fucking, picture of a car because it's a road and cars go there. And, like,
Some sprinkle in some fantasy towns just for fun, right?
Over here, we're pretty sure there's like people who hop on one leg, and medieval cartography must have been the easiest job. Just show up and make some shit up. Like, there's a river. I don't know. It's to the north of this town. You'll get there. Just keep going north and you'll get there. Oh yeah, here's Glenn eating his salted pork. Here is their cart. Boo. Yeah, here's some more. Oh, geez. Good video.
Dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's a good video.
It's really good. You could.
Hell yeah. Dang,
Whoa.
Charles, you spent all your money on your fucking armor. You need a new phone, dude. I don't think I ever watched that.
I don't think you could replicate that if you wanted to.
Oh, they're playing dice on a shield. I thought this was just like sad poverty hour. I thought.
Well, I mean, there's definitely poverty involved after it, right? So
yeah, there's a blancmange at an hour later. Is this us?
Yep.
Yes, this is us.
Well, we got the flashlights, so yeah, that's definitely us.
Oh, gosh, yeah. And we even had a little bit of a better fire going than them, which they stole both of the. I don't know who took this picture of Dory, but man,
they stole both of the what?
The historical lanterns that they had.
No, we had one.
We had Anne.
Yeah, we had at least one.
I just never saw it.
Yep. Oh, it's kind of hard to see whenever there's a LED.
There's Masashi after being reunited with the sword I stole from him. It's such a good photo. The poor guy, man. So he is already down a weapon after like the first couple of engagements, down to his sidearm. And you can see here his gambeson is down there in the lower left of frame. He's in tunic. Most of us are in pretty fucking light kit at this point. We meet again. He's fending me off with that arming sword. I poke him once, and part of the rules we're going off of are you don't die. You should do something more interesting than dying. You should sort of this concept that gets repeated but often not described in any detail of failing forward. Of you shouldn't just die and then that's it, and then an hour into a 3-day event it's over. You should take an injury, take a knee, get injured, stumble back. So he stumbles back, he puts his sword down, and he starts closing in to wrestle with me. Now, I didn't know Masashi very well, and he probably didn't know I'm a wrestling instructor, so I hip toss him. I didn't notice he was wearing his glasses at the time because he had been in and out of them. And I felt really bad because his glasses were like this. I was like, "Oh, are you okay?" "Are you okay?" Like, yeah, I'm fine. So I give him some space to adjust his glasses. We take him prisoner. Cade's aiming at both of us with a gun, and we're going, "Wait, don't shoot, or I'll kill the." Shit, that doesn't work.
The valet.
Then Austin just goes, "Kill the prisoner." So, sorry, Masashi, my brethren of 15 minutes ago. Shiv him in the back, take his sword, and in the last engagement, I think he shows up with just a shield. I was fucking dying. Dude, this is the funniest
well, especially because they had more than one weapon per person too.
He had lost everything.
They could have lent him a spear or literally anything. I could have grabbed a branch. That would have been better.
Yeah, I believe our side was the only side that took a note out of Fiore's book, and we all went, "Wait a minute, what does Fiore teach us? Grab a stick, start fucking chucking it." And Kaylin commented something like, "Man, does your mom throw like that?" And you went, "Man, do you actually want us to hit you?"
I do wish
good banter.
We should have just tried to steal weapons and then stash them somewhere.
That would have been fun.
I feel like that would have been. I mean, hey, if you got a guy coming in with just a shield, right?
All right, we. feel like our ransom could have been a little better. I will say, to that note, I don't think we have to do full historical food, but I think it would be cool. I honestly thought I was kind of being the lazy one because I just had my modern wine bottles wrapped up in some linen to kind of hide them ostensibly. And then we got ransomed a jug of great value apple juice, and I was like, "Whew, all right."
Yeah, for trying to keep the historical accuracy, it's mostly about the outward stuff, right? Like there's diminishing returns on some of it.
There
So,
are, but specifically with things, like apple juice is one of those things that's so far removed from the period because it doesn't get. I'm the autist because this is what I do for a living. I make a lot of prohibitionary cocktails, so I'm probably the one that knows most about this. But I saw that and immediately went, apple juice didn't get popular until fucking 1900s America when prohibition passed and apple orchards went, oh shit, we can't make apple cider anymore. I guess we can just not ferment the juice and try to sell that to people.
yeah.
So for me, it was like, well, it's in a plastic bottle and it's 500 years removed from from when it would have actually been consumed.
This is definitely a work in progress of it.
Yes,
We
yes.
have
I'm
a lot of new
going.
people.
Yeah. Just for context, if it sounds like it, I'm not going. I got apple juice. Literally a fucking 0 out of 10 of
No,
it.
the apple juice was a godsend for sure.
It was fucking delicious, but just think it could be cool if we had if when we decide to have more people in the sort of baggage train thing, it would be cool to have some of the historical equivalents of that, like a shrub or syllabubs or I mean, I know that we've got some teetotalers, but small beers, cider.
Yeah. Luckily for us, most of the teetotalers are on the other team.
Yes,
So,
yeah, they organized that well. It was Cherry Bounce Town over in the
well, our 2 nights they don't partake in anything at all. So
really, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, now Austin will drink sometimes, but either way, dude, that's so like okay. It's like so bit crushed for a second. I'm like, it looked really nice. I think we could add 4 people to each of the teams just as valets. Or like just a helmet, just a Gambison type of setup.
Dude, I loved his. It's like an arming cap and a gorget all in one. I don't even know what you'd call it.
I think that's a liner for a bassinet that he's just wearing.
Dude, it looks so sick. I mean, it reminded me immediately of those manuscripts you see of the guys with the fucking like baby heads that they're wearing so much padding underneath it. And hey, if it works, it works. I don't think I saw him in that after we broke camp. Thing must have been so fucking hot. I mean, you're basically wearing a quilt on your head.
Like, well, it's funny. His glasses used to be mine.
Yeah, he was telling me that you have like almost identical prescriptions.
Yeah, but like flip the eyes.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
you're fucking lucky, dude. Also didn't get to see any use the Tractor Supply Warhammer.
The Tractor Supply Warhammer is kind of crazy.
It's for $45. It's like very close. It's got crenellations and everything. Like it beats Cold Steel stuff. And we were all going, why does Tractor Supply carry a Warhammer? But hey, there you go.
Well, hold
Colton,
on.
This was his first event with us as well, right?
Yo, what? Okay, I'm gonna send you the link for the listening. I'm sorry, we got it. I'd like to address the Tractor Supply Warhammer more.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The product details kind of nuts.
Oh, it's $50, not $45. My apologies.
A fully armed 13th century knight was a true power, capable of plowing through a multitude of opponents. Like this is definitely a.
Let's get this. No, you can't look at my Cold Steel. Oh boy, man, Cold Steel has. I don't know how those guys still say the things they do. Like it's early 2000s mall ninja shit, but everyone believed some of that when they were kids, right? But it's year of our Lord, current year plus almost 10 at this point. It's 1055 differentially heat treated, just like they would have done in the 13th century. Also, I don't believe this is a 1200s pattern Warhammer.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Warhammers.
I want to say you didn't see this until like 1400s. Like definitely our period, but yeah.
1055 is a weird steel to have access to,
Isn't
especially
that
because it.
structural steel?
I mean, every steel is structural steel, but
yeah, but you know what I mean.
No,
Like,
generally you're gonna go for like a lower carbon content, like a 1018.
Okay, that might be what I was thinking of.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, especially because it looks a little cast. I'm not sure about that being accurate.
Well, it says drop forged, but
who knows?
Enter the war space hammer capitalized. Classic, dude. The back spike could rip through helm and plate like a modern can.
This is such a strange. Like, it feels like we're getting messed with. Frankly,
so, for context here, some guys at Feldlager came with an actual sharpened spike that was not blunted at all, and I think a few people got concussed, and that was it. So no, you're like, could the spike feasibly go through like 19 gauge mild steel if they were laying on the ground at full welt? Yeah. Like a can opener? No, dude. Getting through any kind of well-shaped and well-forged armor is not easy with anything short of a gun.
It might be more for this is speculation. I think for popping rivets on armor, like specifically like your spalders, like the articulation. If you whack those plates good enough, the plates are generally, they can be heat treated, but your rivets probably aren't.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sorry to the Tractor Supply Warhammer it's a treat.
It's fucking pretty. It's pretty good. What was it? But yeah. Anyways, the Dekitim guys, that's what I wanted to say, had some interesting stuff to say about Warhammers and maces because they're fucking nuts. And we're like, you know what? We'll test these theories. Let's just do full contact sparring in plate and maces and Warhammers.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, we're really bruised and banged up. We could definitely keep fighting. It's always the dagger that would end up killing us. The hammer would get you exhausted and on the ground probably, but it's not. Their armor has little bangs and dings and all of it, but they're like, no, it's not going through it. Now in a battlefield context, you take enough of those. Yeah, I could see that, but it's not anti-armor is kind of a meme.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say. I'm not sure how Dequitum has his armor made or makes his armor. If they're using like a equivalent material, and if they're differentially
that's a good question.
Thickness.
They could be using like crazy, 14 gauge steel or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. And it's another issue where it's like surviving pieces might have been thicker than the actual common thickness. Right. Like if you have a breastplate that's 12 gauge, it's gonna last longer than one that was 22.
Yeah. But the Kaylin's placard always looks excellent. She has a really good kit.
There's issues with it, but I'm not gonna pick it apart.
Yeah.
You can pick mine apart pretty
easily. I was about to say, if I can pick mine apart, dude, I already pointed out my ahistorical shoes. Can I point out my fucking Hulk cams? Oh, I'm not wearing them right now. What else? I'm wearing modern glasses because I like fucking seeing. the fucking block of Velveeta cheese that was in my helmet
Dude, that
a
thing.
few days before the event.
I really, I don't think you understand how much I appreciate you ripping that out because it was sitting so high on your head. It was sitting so high on your head. It looked
It's
so bad. Yeah.
it's like almost an inch thick, dude. And without it, I'm literally hitting myself in the head with the mace, and I'm like, there's nothing, dude. Like, it does not need this. This is so unnecessary. It was just like spray glued in there, so it was easy enough to rip out. But there, it also didn't say it was a lined helmet, and there were no pictures of the underside. So, dude, it was yeah. But yeah, helmet will sit pretty much good if it's in line with your brow, and this was in line with my fucking hairline. God, it was comical. Yeah, it was.
I think we might need to wrap this one up.
Oh yeah, there we are. There's our kits to pick apart.
Yeah.
Nathan, I believe you're the only one with the painted helm, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Really interesting because we do see not so many depictions, but we found surviving examples that have like really little flakes of paint that suggest that they were painted at one point.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest painting your helmet. It kind of sucks. Well, you have to like wait so long for the stuff to dry, especially for the stuff they'll have.
I'm glad I waited for Nathan's opinion to change after the event from Tyler, you should paint your helmet.
Well, I think if I had just sprayed painted it, it would have been better. It was tacky and oil paint, so it's gonna be. I'm just gonna sell the thing anyways. Who cares, right? But any final thoughts and feelers?
Yeah, so it was a really good event in general. I think the rules could be laid out clearer, and as I told Ryan and John, I'm literally a technical editor. Just fucking, you don't even have to pay me. Buy me a beer or something, and I will go over these documents and make sure. Because one of the things was, when we were talking with like Alex running around in no kit, and we're both looking like, well, we can't. Neither of us are running after him. He's smaller than I am, so you weigh easily double what he does. I have a bum knee, so we can't attack him. So we're like, I guess this is just happening now. And
Yeah.
John goes, well, it was kind of assumed that helmet and gauntlets were minimum. And I was like, oh, dude, you can't assume that, because in the document, it absolutely did not say that anywhere.
Well, beyond that, I did bring it up at least once within our own camp. Like talk about like whenever we were huddled up talking about minimum gear, I'm like, we need. But yeah, hey, it's whatever. We all had fun.
It is. It's and I'm mentioning this not to shit on the event, but as the learning experiences of considerations for next time.
Yeah.
Because there definitely were moments where you're feeling like I can't pull the trigger here because I don't actually want to injure this guy. And
I threw a spear at him. I fully intended to. No.
No, and he said after the fact he was like not sure whether or not he was thinking at the moment, like, should I yield to that as if that did hit me and was intended for me or not? And that's a fair assessment of the situation.
Well, I mean, it was just a shaft that hit him, but it was an underhand toss. I didn't spike it into him.
I've done the same thing, yeah. I found that what's the word for it? Pole weapons way more effective in group than one-on-one. Not that they're ineffective in one-on-one, but in a group, it's very hard to make any forward progress if you even have 2 or 3 guys with spears standing there. You can just very effectively cover a wide sweep of area, and when you're in open-faced helmets, you really don't want to be the guy to approach it. So there's a lot of protracted, standing back, poking at a distance, trying to get, a cheeky arm or leg shot, or try to, looking left, right, as you said, with the trying to stay observant on the sidelines. and that is way different as compared to the dueling context that HEMA is primarily, which is it's really important to me as an instructor because it's something I say a lot, but I don't have a ton of firsthand experience of going, guys. The vast majority of what they were writing about in the period was one-on-one combat. It's not this, you know.
Right, it's a dueling context for sure.
Right. Though occasionally there were situations like with Masashi where we look around, or with Charles where we look around and we realize what we are just totally isolated from the rest of our groups. And yeah, we do get, you know, a minute or so of solo combat going on there. So,
I guess Austin also had a duel or a wrestling match with somebody for something.
yes, he dueled Alex for his loyalty,
I see.
the money and goods that he ran off with.
Yeah, so I mean, it makes sense for a knight or the head honcho to have. I guess he's more likely to get into duels, though, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, right. Because duels could happen for like fucking
petty
literally
reasons,
any
yeah.
reason. You said, "What about my cow?" So yeah, that was all in all, it was a fantastic event. I learned a lot from it. Things that could be fixed, but it's true of literally every event. Every rule you add or change is going to be give and take, and you need to consider why or when to have it. I think here we erred on the side of too few rules. It was a little too rules light, and because of that, there was just a lot of confusion. And because, as we mentioned earlier, there wasn't a sort of ref or game master, there wasn't anybody to clarify the rules ever. So there were a couple of times we had to stop and go, hold on, 1 hour timeout. What the fuck's going on here? Like,
Exactly, yeah.
Because something we didn't mention is, since it was all honor system, there was a lot of, all right, I'm out. I got to go back to base and then either, you know, tend to my wounds or rest or what have you. And some people saw it as, I'll walk away for 30 seconds and I'm brand new and I'm back in the fight. And we're looking like, okay, I didn't take you. And after the fact that Charles in particular is going, I was wondering why you didn't take me prisoner. And I was going, I didn't take you prisoner because I figured you were reeling from like 5 stab wounds.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's where mechanics can come in and take the honor system out of, because it doesn't necessarily mean people are trying to one up you, because he wasn't trying to like go get one over on me. He wasn't trying to win. He just had a different understanding of the game than I did. Because he even said afterwards, he was like, yeah, when I wrestled him with my spear, he was like, you had me dead to rights. There was nothing I could do from that position. Charles is an excellent rapierist, but he's never done any armored fighting.
Has he not?
Nope.
Well, he has such a nice kid. I thought he was doing harness.
No, he was talking in the event. He heard about it, about our group about a year ago, and he said after maybe 1 or 2 million beers, he started shopping for a kit and kind of went crazy.
Hey, more power to him.
Yeah.
Well, he tossed me pretty good, so I figured he had some.
Really?
Yeah,
Cool.
he got
cool.
I mean, he got his pole axe around my neck, so I did it. But
interesting, nice. Well, I guess that makes I'll pat myself on the back for having successfully wrestled two people in this event.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts from yourself, Nathan?
Carry less shit. Lose 70 pounds.
So that'd be a tough mark for me, but yeah.
Oh well, closing thoughts for myself. I mean, I'm looking. In this picture, I'm looking nice and rotund, dude. Definitely not gonna have to worry about food for a while. I mean, I'll tell you what, I wasn't hungry once the whole event.
Well,
I'm gonna have to channel Eric Bugenhagen and start hoisting some weights try to get this weight off of me. You know what I'm saying?
Like, oh, I'm gonna have to go in the opposite direction and get these
Yeah,
fucking
just
4-inch pythons to.
we'll just trade diets for a couple months and
There
it'll
you go, man.
even it out. But
Yeah.
no, it was fun. Need to work on my kit. I think everybody kind of thinks that.
Yeah.
I'd like to put more effort into keeping it more historical. Making sure we're not using LED flashlights unless it's an emergency.
Right.
Cutting out of the unnecessaries, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Also, I should have remembered how the money works. That was nice.
Oh, yeah. That was one that it was so secondary to everything. I even forgot about it.
I think also a slower pace might help.
What we were told, and of course it's organic and it's going to happen, was expect 2 to 3 engagements on the first day and then one big engagement on Sunday. It was fucking double that and easily.
We had. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say it was fucking breakneck pace, and I was like, guys, I know I'm being a pussy about it over here. I've been recently injured. Like it's a little higher intensity than I was expecting.
I say unfortunately, we had a lot of blood debt types on our team.
Dude, I mean, it was kind of baller when Austin went, I don't care if I'm taking 6 people to raid their camp immediately in a fucking I was like, more fucking power to you, man.
He felt embarrassed about that, but I was like, no, that's baller, dude. That's nice. Nothing like throwing it all away.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you hear some fucking ridiculous stories from back then of like guys just like, and then I wanted to kill him so bad, I just went over there and did it and caused a fucking huge, fucking decades long political blood war because I was mad about it, and it's like tight, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, if we could try to pace it out better,
especially not just not for me or any of us, but for fucking Glenn, if guys are getting heat stroke when it's not, not even 90 out, that's not all Glenn's fault. That is like the captains and maybe the quartermasters there should probably be an addendum in the document of, hey, make sure your guys are fucking, don't need medical attention. Because if anyone did need real medical attention out there, the nearest hospital is a ways away. So
you're at least 15 minutes to an actual road.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So nothing bad did happen, but that was sort of a precursor to, guys, let's tweak it back just a hair.
Like if you twisted an ankle or broke something, you're an hour. You're an hour at the soonest.
Yeah, and there's no reception out there,
Nope.
So you're gonna get 15-30 minutes to, especially if you had to get carried back 30-45 minutes to get to a spot with reception. So
but no, good event. There's some things that could be improved.
Absolutely.
The design team will have, whenever that happens, which will probably be a few months before the next event, we'll have to brainstorm about what we want this to become and what we need to change.
Yeah, and like I said, I want to be more involved in these things. So like fucking, get me on it. This is the kind of stuff I live for.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Nathan, where can people find you and your shit? I know you're not making anything for a couple months, but
Yeah, you can find me on Lodestone Ironworks on Etsy.
I'll put a link in the description for him there.
Sure. I'm getting a link now.
Yeah. And what was it? I wanted to mention one other thing, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. So it must not have been important.
Where can I plop that at?
If you go on the right-hand side where it says post a comment, you should just be able to plop it in there, or you can just send it to me and I'll post it.
it wants me to connect to something, so I'll just send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, dude. You got it. Yep. You can find me on there. I also have a YouTube channel, but that's I need to find a link for that too. Jeez, I'm so unprepared.
Nah, it's fine. I got you on YouTube. We'll make sure those links end up in the description.
Right on.
Check them out if you're interested in high quality metalworkings, and please
And other stuff.
request that he makes. I can't think of anything funnier than like the things you've actually been requested to make. So I was gonna make a joke, but the fucking can you make Bessagues on Bessagues on Bessagues on Bessagues?
You know, once I've got another 3 or 4 of those, I might have to do a video of talking about my best requests. You know,
Dude, yeah. I mean, every bit of the service industry has them. The customers that are, fuck. I want an amaretto sour, no egg white, no bourbon. So you want amaretto and lemon juice? This is not a cocktail, lady.
Extra Pepsi.
Dude, I can make that for you, but fucking hell, dude. I want a Mai Tai. I've heard 5 different variations of the Mai Tai. It's impossible to satisfy people on that one. But
yeah.
Anyways, now that we're just yapping, I will let you get to bed. I know you're an early morning grinder, even on the weekends.
I need sleep. I need shut eye. Well, I'll catch you later. It's good talking.
This is great talking to you. Hope to have you on in the future. All right. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully that was of some interest to you. Thank you guys for watching. If you watched the VOD or anything else, I'll see you.